She was best known as being Paris Hilton's sidekick, but in reality, I think that girl was on a mission.
She got a taste of that drug. She wanted that power.
You know that you can make $1 million in one day. What does it look like?
All right, let's talk about what just happened between Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian, because this isn't your typical celebrity drama. This is something entirely different. Paris just came out swinging, and Kim's been radio silent. And when you hear what allegedly went down, you're gonna understand why. So here's the setup. New Epstein files just dropped. We're talking names, dates, flight logs, the whole thing. And when Paris Hilton's name showed up in those documents, something shifted. Instead of going into hiding or lawyering up quietly like most people would, Paris allegedly decided to flip the script entirely. She started talking, and the first person she allegedly pointed to, Kim Kardashian. Now, before we go any further, let's be real about something. These two weren't just casual friends. They weren't just party acquaintances who took a few photos together. Paris and Kim were everywhere together in the early 2000s. Kim was literally Paris's stylist, her shadow, always in the background of every photo. They were deep in the same circles, moving through the same parties, the same events, the same world. So when Paris allegedly claims that Kim was right there with her at Epstein's Island, as both guests and what insiders are calling party favors, people started paying attention. Because if Paris was there, and Kim was always with Paris, then the math isn't hard to do. And this is where it gets messy. Paris is allegedly saying that Kim didn't just attend these parties. She's claiming Kim escalated things, that Kim was willing to do whatever it took to climb higher, to get more famous, to get closer to power.
Incredibly rich, incredibly famous, but this tape is rearing its head again. Yes, and it has now caused more legal strife between herself and her state partner, Ray J.
And now the public is stuck asking the question nobody wants to ask. Who's actually lying here? Is it Paris trying to deflect blame? Or is it Kim, staying silent because silence is safer than denial? But here's the thing, Paris isn't just throwing accusations into the void. She's allegedly doing this because she feels like she's been made the scapegoat. And maybe she has a point, because when you look at how this whole thing unfolded, Paris's name is the one getting dragged everywhere, while Kim's been able to keep her distance, at least until now. Now, this is where it gets interesting. When these new Epstein documents leaked online, the internet completely lost it. We're talking full meltdown mode. People were combing through every page, every name, every detail, and Paris Hilton's name was right there in the files. The moment that happened, insiders say Paris went into full damage control, but instead of just defending herself, she allegedly decided to take someone down with her, and that someone was Kim. But let's back up for a second, because this isn't just about Paris, this is about her entire family. See, whispers about Paris's parents, specifically her father Rick Hilton, and his alleged connections to Epstein, those weren't exactly new. Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's most vocal accusers, had mentioned Rick Hilton by name in her statements. She claimed she was forced to service him and Prince Andrew. Rick Hilton was known for being a social climber, someone who traded access for favors. So when people heard Rick's name tied to all this, it wasn't exactly shocking. What was shocking was how deep those connections allegedly went, and how many people in that family were supposedly involved. And Paris? Paris became the face of the entire scandal. Not her father, not anyone else, Paris. And she didn't take it quietly. Instead of just defending herself and moving on, she allegedly started exposing Kim, and that's when people started connecting the dots. Both of them were raised in elite, powerful circles. Both of them were young when they were allegedly present in these environments. Both of them were moving through the same world at the same time. So why was only Paris getting destroyed in the press? Here's where things get even darker. Allegedly, new files that leaked didn't just have names and dates. They had videos. Videos of Paris at parties. And in some of these clips, other victims allegedly appear too. Some of those victims are speaking out again now, demanding justice, calling for the full, unredacted documents to be released. But instead of the focus staying on the victims and what happened to them, all the public outrage got aimed at Paris. She became the sole target. And insiders say that's exactly what pushed her over the edge. Think about it. Paris is sitting there watching herself get torn apart online, while Kim, who was allegedly doing the exact same things or worse, is getting barely any scrutiny. Paris got tired of carrying all the blame alone, so she allegedly decided to expose everything she'd been holding back. And that's a problem for Kim, a big problem. Now, let's talk about how Kim allegedly got into this world in the first place. According to Paris, Kim used her as a gateway. Kim was Paris's stylist. Remember? She was always around, always watching, always learning. And Paris claims Kim leveraged that closeness to get access to elite circles, to get closer to Epstein, to get closer to the kind of powerful figures that could change her life. Paris was introduced to that lifestyle when she was extremely young. And if Paris is telling the truth, Kim saw that world and wanted in. And here's where it gets even more twisted. An insider from the Surviving Jeffrey Epstein documentary claimed that Ghislaine Maxwell recruited Paris when she was just 19 years old. 19. Paris has publicly denied ever knowing Ghislaine.
Ghislaine said, "Oh my God, who's that?" And my friend said, "Yeah, she's called Paris Hilton." And Ghislaine said, "Oh, God, she'd be perfect for Jeffrey. Could you introduce us?"
But here's the problem. There are photos. Photos of Paris and Ghislaine together at parties. Photos that are very hard to explain away. So either Paris genuinely doesn't remember, or she's trying to distance herself from something she can't fully escape. During this period, Paris was allegedly moving in very close circles with Epstein's known procurers. One name that keeps coming up is photographer Rachel Chandler, and insiders say Paris was allegedly intoxicated or drugged during a lot of these parties. If that's true, then the argument becomes, did Paris even have real agency in what was happening? Was she a willing participant? Or was she being used?
Very often there'd be this beautiful dark-haired girl in the background trying to get in the shot.
Was that Kim Kardashian? Yeah, she was Paris's friend, her stylist, and her assistant, and they were often seen together.
Anytime, there was cameras needed, Paris would basically tell Kim Kardashian to text.
In reality, I think that girl was on.
Now let's shift back to Kim. Because while Paris was allegedly being manipulated or coerced, Kim was watching everything. Kim started as Paris's stylist, but she wanted more from the very beginning. She was always in the background of photos, always following Paris everywhere, always trying to embed herself deeper into these elite circles. And allegedly, she succeeded. And this is the part nobody expected. Remember Paris's infamous tape? The one that allegedly launched her into a different level of fame? Paris claims she was manipulated, that she had no real consent, that she has little memory of it because she was intoxicated. But then, Kim's tape came out, and here's what's wild. Insiders allege that Kim and her mother Chris planned the whole thing. They say Ray J signed an NDA. They say there were multiple takes filmed. They say Chris literally selected the final clip that got released. If all of that is true, then it wasn't an accident. It was a strategy. And if Kim was willing to do that, then the question becomes, would she really turn down an invitation from Epstein? Would she really say no to that kind of access?
This federal RICO though, KK Chris, ooh, the federal RICO I'm about to drop on Chris.
So now we're watching Kim distance herself as all these old scandals resurface. Paris is being forced to relive all the scrutiny, all the judgment, all over again. But Kim's staying quiet, at least publicly. Behind the scenes though, Kim allegedly realized her Epstein ties might actually go public, and that's when she switched strategies. She went from silence to lawsuits. Her first target, Ray J, she hit him with a defamation suit. And around the same time, a viral clip resurfaced about a federal investigation. Now, here's where things get really serious. The claims in that investigation allegedly aren't just about Epstein. They're about Kim and Chris allegedly becoming procurers themselves. And Paris is rumored to have led other young girls into the pipeline. If any of that is true, then this goes way beyond celebrity drama. And then there's Diddy, because allegedly, Kim copied whatever role Paris was playing. Claims are circulating that she helped procure girls for Diddy too. Kim's name was trending non-stop during the Diddy investigation. Insiders reported that files were being destroyed, accounts were being closed, and there was an alleged massive cleanup of any ties between Kim and Diddy. Some people even claim the Kardashian church was set up as a cover. Now, we don't know if that's true, but the rumors are loud, and they're not going away. Ray J didn't just take Kim's lawsuit lying down, by the way. After being silenced following a live stream where he said way too much, he filed a countersuit for breach of contract. He called Kim's lawsuit a PR stunt, and people started asking questions. Questions about NDAs, questions about whether Epstein had anything to do with those contracts, questions that nobody seems to want to answer. And here's the thing, Paris might actually be the biggest threat Kim's ever faced, because Paris allegedly isn't just defending herself, she's actively exposing Kim as someone who was worse. Kim is possibly preparing another lawsuit, But Paris isn't an easy target. She's been in this world her entire life. She knows where the bodies are buried, and if she has receipts, those receipts could allegedly end Kim's career. Despite all the lawsuits, despite all the PR moves, the FBI investigation hasn't stopped. It's just gone quiet. And let's be real, that's actually worse. Because when federal investigations go silent, it usually means they're building a case. It means they're not done. Meanwhile, Kim's acting like she's already cleaned everything up. She's distancing herself from Paris, from Epstein, pretending the Diddy situation never even happened. But her name keeps resurfacing. Every few weeks, something new comes out, and there's Kim's name again. And the pressure is building, because allegedly, Paris is cooperating with investigators now. She's allegedly laying everything on the table. Rumors are swirling that there's evidence with Kim's name all over it. And Kim's gotten noticeably quieter. She's not posting like she used to. She's not making statements. She's just waiting to see what Paris says next, waiting to see what gets released next. And here's the reality. Kim can file all the lawsuits she wants. She can rebrand, she can distance herself, she can stay silent. But if Paris has one message, one log, one photo that proves what she's been saying, it's over. The Epstein fallout isn't something you can control with good PR. It's not something you can sue your way out of. And Kim's about to find that out.